this is Lisa from Life in Layouts, and today we're going to be doing a process video for a wine tasting that my boyfriend and I took while we were in Virginia. This is the layout I'm going to use from Scrapbook Generations. It is a free sketch that they have currently on their Facebook page. I'm also going to be using the Elle Studio February 2018 kit, as well as some other things I have from Elle Studios. So here are the photos I chose. And I am currently inking up the edges, and I will show you the color of that ink shortly, but I like to ink all of the edges of my layouts. It just gives it a little finishing touch. So I'm going to show you again the layout or the sketch from Scrapbook Generation. And right now I'm just going through the photos or the paper from the Live, Laugh, Love collection that Elle Studios has. And I chose this green banner page for the top banner. Even though it shows a banner at the top, sometimes you can just use the paper that you have, and this gives it a kind of a whimsical banner that mimics the one that's at the top of the page. And then I'm going to use this stripe paper. It is 6x6, also from the Live, Laugh, Love collection of Elle Studios, and I'm going to use that for the stripes for the top, above and below the photos in the sketch. I like using 6x6 pages sometimes, or paper sometimes, simply because sometimes I don't want the images that are on there, like these purple hearts. I wouldn't want them any bigger than they currently are. I think that the 2 rows of purple hearts works perfectly. And if I had used a 12 by 12 sheet of paper, the hearts might have been just too big. So I'm going to line the photos up. And as you can see, I don't have the 6x4 photos that the page calls for, but I was still able to make this sketch work for me. So after lining everything up, I'm going to pull out this black and white whimsical heart paper, also from Elle Studios. I am just in love with this paper. That pop of black is perfect for this layout, and those hearts are just different shapes, and they're funky, and they kind of look hand-drawn, and they are a perfect touch for this particular layout. So I think I'm going to pick out a piece for the bottom of those photos, the landscape that we saw, and then that was the outside of their winery. They had this love set up with the apples and the wine, because it was an apple orchard that they used. And then this is the ink that I was telling you about. It's the Evergreen Distressed ink from Tim Holtz. So I'm going to ink all of the edges of each one of those papers, which again I'm not going to show you. That would just take up way too much time. So I inked all of the edges of each one of the papers on there. So the hearts, the stripes, and then this green one as well. So I used the green paper that you're going to see here shortly. I liked that green paper, but I wasn't sure exactly how much I needed to cut off, so I wanted to glue everything down first. So I'm using my T-square ruler to line up the bottom of the black and white hearts, and then I just from there use the edges of the paper to line up. When I have a 2-page spread that I want them to come across, I'd use my T-square again to line up the photos with whatever I'm lining it up with on the other side. I am using Fun Phone to back this photo of myself and my boyfriend. I get my Fun Phone from Amazon, from Walmart, from the Dollar Tree, wherever I can find a good deal on them. The ones from Amazon and Walmart are very comparable. The ones from Dollar Tree are a little bit thinner than the ones from Walmart or Amazon, but sometimes I like to have that type of dimension. So if I have multiple things that I'm trying to pop up, I like to have different types of dimension on there. So that's why I have both types of Fun Foam. So this is the green paper that I chose that I said that I couldn't cut out until I figured out exactly how much space I needed. This has the words Live, Laugh, Love all around it, in just different fonts and things like that, and it was really cute. So after I put down the photo, what I'm going to do is look for a 3x4 card to use as my journaling, as well as cover up that seam between those two 6 inch paper, the green one. So I chose this one that says Currently Loving, which is definitely fitting for this layout. When we did this wine tasting, they had 20 different wines that we tried, and I can tell you that more than half of them were wines that we wanted to take home, but because we were flying back, we only could take so much back with us, so we really had to narrow it down. But it was one of those places that we looked into having the wine shipped to us, because in Florida we do not have wineries that have really good wine. If the few that are here are just really small and they don't offer a good variety of wine. So I was trying to use the whimsical hearts that came with Elle Studios package, but because of the black and white whimsical hearts, it just wasn't working. So I used my EK Success heart confetti punch, and I love that punch. I use it quite a bit when I need little hearts. It's the perfect size. And then I'm just going through all of the Elle Studio kits to see what embellishments I can use to cover up those seams of the purple heart on both sides of the page. I didn't really feel like the need to cover up the seams between the stripes because of the way it's designed. It really just looks that's the way the paper's supposed to be, so it really wasn't an issue at all. So I just added a embellishment cluster at the bottom next to my title, which I'm going to put on here in just a few minutes. So I'm just working towards my embellishments and clusters and getting them together. And tell you some more about this winery. It was just a beautiful venue. The mountain picture there was what we saw when we were sitting at the bar area. It was just a beautiful place to be at, and it was at the end of a mountain peak. So it took us a while to get up there, and we had no service when we were up there, so it was actually nice. We spent 2 hours off the grid, drinking wine and not worrying about Facebook or social media of any kind or texting. It was just the two of us spending the afternoon together, getting a little tipsy, which is always a good thing, right? So I am using foam again to pop up some of the embellishments that I chose. I use that little circle with the heart on it. And later off camera, I do add the date to that little area. I thought it was a perfect place for it. And then I also off camera journal on that Currently Loving card, just of the experience that we had when we were up there. So I used the Elle Studios stickers for the title and just use the word memories, which is coming up here in just a few minutes after I finish putting all of these embellishments on. I do like to pop a lot of things. I realized that when I started videoing, and I pop a lot of things up. So there's very few layouts that have everything just straight down on the paper. So this sketch is from Scrapbook Generations, like I mentioned before. It is offered on their Facebook page, and if you go and complete this sketch, today is the deadline. Unfortunately, I'm going to try to get better in regards to posting things like this, but they offer, they'll randomly choose a winner from the sketches to get some extra points in their rewards club from their sale, from their scrapbook site. So Scrapbook Generations is one of my favorite stores. I actually call them my local scrapbook stores. We don't have any in Florida, but I use them, and I feel like they have a local scrapbook store mentality, even though they are so far away from me. That I can Facebook message them and they get back to me fairly quickly, less than 24 hours. So we're going to come to the end of this layout. I'm going to show you, this is the full page, 2-page spread. Like I said, I added my journaling and the date, and then just a couple of close-ups of the different embellishment clusters that I did. So if you enjoyed this video, I would love for you to give me a thumbs up. If you would like to see more videos like this, please click subscribe. And I would always love some comments and feedback in regards to this, since it is my first process video. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope to see you soon.